some more on this. I'm going to do a little bit on this part of the bud, and the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to mix a little bit of, very little bit of Quin Burnt Orange with some of my Azo Yellow. And I'm trying to get sort of a color that is close to what's called quinacridone gold, which is a lovely color to have too, but you know, there's always more colors. And I want this to read as mostly red, and it will eventually, but I want a little bit of yellowy, warmer gold sort of color. That's probably more what I'm after. Over here on the side where the light is hitting. So I'm just going to mix in a little bit of that. I'm going to swish that out of my brush, and then I'm getting some quinacridone pink, and then I'm going to overlap like that. And since I'm here and since I can, I know that this side will eventually be getting darker. So maybe I'll try to drop in a little bit darker pink, stronger, more concentrated. I got my small brush. I think that's good for now. I'll be coming back, and within the whole shape, there will be some value and subtle color changes too for each of these smaller shapes. I'll do something similar for this one over here. That's a little bit more of the burnt orange, because this one, if I remember from the picture, which I'm actually not looking at, it's a little bit more in shadow. Then I'm going to sneak in some Quin pink. So on these, I am doing something that for my students, it's occurring to me right now that I don't think I've discussed. But this is just another way to get a graded fill. Switching colors as you're painting through a shape. But I use a lot of the same ideas in that sometimes I'll come back and pop in a little bit more of yellow or gold, or depending on how the shape is going. So I'm going to leave that at that. And I'm going to try something down here. First of all, I sort of want, I'm wishing I had sort of gone, just made this shape bigger. So the whole painting was a little bit bigger. And indeed, I either forgot or didn't do it in my line drawing. This is actually overlapping. This one is overlapping that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of cobalt teal. And I'm going to paint it into that shape. And I'm going to kind of scrub at it, because I'm really kind of trying to redefine what this shape is. But I'm using, this is not going to scrub very much, but my hope is after I get some more layers on here, it'll make a little bit more sense. So that was cobalt teal, and I'm going to introduce a little bit lower some phthalo blue. I keep meaning to tape this to a support board, but apparently I haven't done that yet. So there you have it, a perfect transition. No, this is mostly underpainting stuff still, at least for that shape. So as long as I get the general idea of a lighter value to a darker value, that's really all I'm sort of looking for right now with that. With this over here, I'm going to try just a little phthalo blue and phthalo green eventually for these background shapes that are behind these other parts. So I'm sort of wetting that shape and then charging. I may not have even used that term, but just getting a little bit of a different color and adding it to this wet shape. It's a similar thing that I've been doing up there. I'll do that here as well. How about some more blue? Yeah, so that's just, once again, kind of setting all that up as far as what the values are going to be for that. I will now do a bit of, remember this first shape that was sort of around the sky and around this leaf and the petal. This is phthalo green. And this will eventually get pretty dark, so I'm not too worried about just kind of having fun with making it introducing colors as I'm going and getting dark. It's still just phthalo blues and phthalo greens. That's pretty dark, isn't it? But that was fun. Especially for background stuff, this sort of things that we're going to want to read as being distant. The blurrier and fuzzier and more undefined they are, the better. So just the blues and the greens, kind of cool because you can still tell that there's that yellow underneath there that we did earlier. At least I did, maybe you did earlier. But this is just going to sort of get progressively darker. And it will have an effect of making that sky shape look lighter. I was almost tempted to do this part, but that is probably still wet enough. Gosh, I hope that was in frame. Fun. I think I'll leave it there for now.